Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming and Happy New Year to wherever you are in the world. In London it's still the morning, but I thought for obvious reasons I'd make a video earlier than New Year's Eve evening when it will be busy, and I'm not even sure if I'd be able to post due to all the traffic online. So anyway, I thought it was appropriate to start the video in a pub, which you can see in the background, partly because it's New Year's Eve and it's a pub and there's drinks, and partly because this is actually the place I started the whole of my channel on in the beginning, because I started the channel to make videos basically defending Watch Dogs Legion and saying why I thought it was so good, and one of the very first videos I made was getting drunk in this actual pub a few years back, or actually quite a few years back now. Anyway, so that's where we are, not in central London where I usually make these New Year's kind of videos. There we are, nice view of the Thames, but much further down river than central London. I'll just jump over the balcony, and there you can see we're right on the river's edge. You can see the Shard over there, that's central London over there, or south central. Anyway, just a few thoughts I've had as I make this New Year's video, not necessarily about New Year's Eve or even gaming exactly, just general thoughts about what I call the age of illusion, which is the age we live in now, because so many things now, not just to do with gaming, though gaming is a big part of it, are illusional. They're not real, they're fake. There's always been fake, but it's become much more noticeable, much more high profile. You have fake news obviously, where you don't know what news is real, not just like major political news, but just celebrity news. You see a celebrity in a particular place and you don't know whether that's true or not, because it could be a fake picture, because fake pictures are really good now. And again, that comes to my second thing, fake pictures. So many things now are fake pictures, not just to do with fake news, but to do with everything. Profiles online, which brings me to my third thought, fake profiles. Again, there's always been fake profiles online. People use people's pictures, they scam offline from Facebook or whatever. But now, if you scan through Instagram, for example, or other media platforms, social media things, there's loads of profiles where the actual person is obviously not real. There's just fake pictures. They're all obviously fake pictures, and yet they're getting followers and people are telling them how hot they look or how great they look, and they're not real people. So it's kind of scary now. And I've been online a long time. I've spoken on different occasions to AIs, just kind of to see how it is in different situations for different reasons, and they're good. They're very good. The ones that are pretending to be people are very good, and you can now make AIs that will pretend to be anything you want, and they're very good. So we don't even know they can use really good voices, and you don't even know if you're talking to real people, wherever you might go, social media, a dating site, anywhere, customer service. And that's kind of worrying as well. Actually, you get all these little apps where you've got AI advertisements for like sites to get your own AI girlfriend, and they use really silly tacky voices that are obviously AI. I don't know why, because you can have sites where you can make a really genuine human voice, so I don't know why they do that, but anyway, maybe it's part of the attraction. Then you've got, of course, fake celebrities. I don't just mean the fake news about celebrities, I mean fake celebrities, people that haven't done anything worthwhile, they're just on a reality show, they haven't done anything at all, and yet they're famous, they're noted in public, they're noted on things when something happens to them, even their relatives are noted because they're famous for being on something pointless, just for being on TV. Sometimes they're famous for doing something awful, and they're still famous. So this fake celebrity, which is another thing, much too much fake celebrity. I think celebrity is so saturated now that we don't even know what it is, because there's so many people that are supposed to be famous, whether they're influencers or fakes or people from reality TV. Anyway, then you've got fake games, which we all know about, like the day before, fake games that don't really exist, fake games that people make up for no reason, they make up to scammers, they make up to throw in malware and spyware and shovelware and shitware in it. And these fake games. There's always been fake games, but that again has become worse and worse. Then you've got fake early access on Steam and things like that, where you've got games that will never come out of early access. Sometimes they're genuinely projects that just got too much for people or they gave up. Sometimes they're games that someone never had any realistic chance of finishing and they just thought we'll just take money. And some of these fake early access games, or early access games without much hope of ever becoming a real game, are quite expensive. They're not like £2, so there's more fake. Then these fake game editions we get, I've talked about this before on the channel, where these fake game editions on all platforms, where you get extra things that you don't need, things that should be in the game already, things that you don't really need anyway. You get early access to a game just because it's an early access for a couple of days, and then that's still sold as a super premium edition even after the game's released. You get skins and nonsense that you don't really need in all these different editions, and these way too many editions of all these different games: premium, the gold edition, the deluxe edition, the super duper platinum edition, and there's too many editions of all these things. I'm a gamer, I watch all these things online on Steam and PlayStation, and I don't even know the difference between some of these things. So how do we expect anyone who's a newcomer to gaming to understand what edition they need? Then you've got season passes and all those kind of things. And then of course most of these things should be in games anyway, because back in the day, before DLCs and digital, then if you bought a disc and that's all it was, whether it was for PC or for a console game, everything had to be in that disc. There was no digital download later, and you've got everything in the disc. But now they've got the option to add things later, even if it's nonsense. I'm not saying all DLCs are nonsense, of course they're not, but there's way too much of it that is. And game editions, there's too many game editions sold with things that you don't need or have become obscure by the nature of their early access, or you don't need them anyway. And that's just touching the surface. Like I said, I've not gone into detail of any of these things. There's lots of things I could have gone into, a few I've gone into on the channel in the past. But anyway, that's my fault. The world is getting very complicated. The age of illusion is upon us. It will be continuing. It will get worse. AI is growing massively all the time. Obviously, we know from things that have happened even more recently that games use AI. You can lose your game award if you use AI in your game, even if it's just in a very minor part of it. Games made by AI, AI voicing in games, it's a big thing in gaming. It's a big thing for everybody. It's like all those science fiction movies where it's becoming like that, where they invent an AI that then decides to destroy them, like Terminator, for example, that then turns on humanity. And we're already seeing how quickly AI is putting people out of business, how quickly it's scamming people, how quickly it's used for nefarious purposes. I'm not saying all AI is bad, but we can see the negative sides to it already, and yet we're just pushing forward with it because that's what we do. We just keep pushing forward without thinking, what is it actually we want from this? Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming, whether it's this video or any of the other videos over the last few years. Thanks for listening to all the things I have to say. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of them. Hopefully you've learned something from some of the game reviews that I've done. I'll be back in the new year with more game stuff. But until then, once again, Happy New Year to everybody, wherever you are, from Guessagaingaming. Take care for now.